Okay, so for some reason, the previous take failed, which is okay. It was only 3 minutes in, and in all fairness, most of that was me talking to my cat. So, what we're doing here is we are applying the rules of parallelograms and rectangles. So the rules here are opposite sides are congruent, opposite sides are parallel. Opposite angles are congruent, consecutive angles are supplementary, and those are all because a rectangle is still a parallelogram. So we then add to that it is that all four angles are the same. It's equal angular, so we have four right angles, which is how most people think of a rectangle. And also, what we know is that the diagonals are congruent, and that's really important in this one. So if we start off with this being 14, we know that this is 14 as well, which makes G to E 28. How do we know that it's 14? Well, because it's a parallelogram, so the diagonals bisect each other. You know, GF is 11. Because it's a rectangle, we also know that the diagonals are congruent. So D to F is also 28, which makes H to F 14, which only leaves D to G. So if I have D to G right here, I know this is 11 right here, and I know this is 28 right here. And lo and behold, I know that's a right triangle. So again, I get to use the Pythagorean Theorem. It's 28, that's 11, and this is x. When going for a leg, we need to make sure that we subtract the square of the other leg from the hypotenuse. And we get x equals 25.7. Okay. Here, again, we know that these are 90. We know that these are the same, and we know that these are the same. Also, because we know that these all are the same, all of these now are isosceles triangles. Remember that in an isosceles triangle, the base angles are congruent, and we know that they all add up to 180. 59 is 118. 180 minus 118 is 62, which makes this 62, which makes this 119, which makes this 31, hopefully that helped. Angles. So using algebra here, we know that these two are equal to each other. Here they get a little, so here they're equal to each other in 7. I'm looking for anything kind of exciting or new. And that's it. You guys should be able to do the rest. The rest of it is just figuring out relationships between angles and putting them into the right equation. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll do one of these. Let's look here. So we know that A to E is 6x minus 55. We know E to C is 3x minus 16. Ultimately, we're looking for D to B right here. Well, we know that the diagonals bisect each other because this is, in fact, a parallelogram, which means each half of the diagonal is equal. We get x equals 13. Now, watch what we're going to do. We're going to drop it back into that 3x minus 16. It's going to be 39 minus 16, or 23. So if this is 23, this is 23. That makes the whole thing 46. And because it is a rectangle, we know the diagonals are congruent. So D to B is going to be 46. So if we're looking for A to D here, we need this piece right here. So we know D to E is 4x plus 1. We know E to B is 12x minus 31. And we know that C to D is 28. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use the fact that we know that the diagonals bisect each other. So this is 17. This is 17. So basically we have this triangle right here where this is 34 and this is 28. So we need to drop that into the Pythagorean Theorem, and that's how you'd solve for A to D. Here, these two are going to be congruent, which means their measures are the same, because they're alternate interior angles on a parallel line. So we got 5x plus 8 equals 7x minus 16. So we get 2x equals 24, or x equals 12. Okay, if I want to plug that right back in there, 5 times 12 is 60. 60 plus 8 is 68. If that's 68, this is 68. But the angle we're looking for is GJK, which is this one right here. How are we going to figure that one out? Well, we know that all four angles of a rectangle are 90 degrees. So we know that's 68, which means that the angle we're looking for is 90 minus 68, or 22 degrees. These two, you're going to add up equal to 90. Basically, same thing here. And the long and the short of it is I know that this right here is a right triangle, which means that that's 90 degrees, which means the other two also have to add up to 90 degrees. So if you have any questions on this, let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow.